Yo, what's up everybody? It's Brodeur AKA Brilly, and today what I'm going to show you is how simple lighting can be inside of 3D. We're going to use Octane here with really some basic lighting setups. You'll see here if I expand all these open, in each one of these different light groups, I have a maximum of 3 lights only. And this one 2, and this one 2 as well. You don't have to overcomplicate lighting to make good 3D renders. And I think this is something that young artists and artists that are just starting out make this mistake very frequently, which is they overlight. So if you're falling into this problem of overlighting, what you can do is start reducing your lighting. So let's take a look at some of these examples here and what we actually have set up. So to get a look like this, all you have to do, now let's actually backtrack. When I do anything that's got subsurface scattering, where there's a material that absorbs light and light scatters through and exits through that material as well, I like to backlight it, and I highly recommend you do this also. Even if you're lighting with an HDRI, come back in here and throw a light behind your object, because that's how that absorption is actually really going to begin to look really good. If you don't have that backlight, it tends to just flatten it out, and there really seems to be no purpose of using a material that absorbs light. And so if you look here, we've got our backlight. Let's just look at our overhead view, and I've got that backlight all the way placed behind the human scan. These are light stage assets, by the way, all from OTOY. You should definitely hop on and check them out. I've done a bunch of tutorials using these assets recently. They're pretty amazing. Obviously the quality is pretty insane, and so I have one light all the way in the back there, and then I've got a key light, and this key light is just 90 degrees off to the side, rotated, facing exactly on this left side here of the character's face. And then I have a fill light, and if we actually go into some of these settings here, so you take a look at the light settings, the fill light, look how low I have it set. If I turn that fill light off, you're going to see that it basically just disappears on this right side. I don't really like that. I don't like something just dipping to black. I want to give the audience something to look at. I could go even lower with this. Let's go like 0.25. Just give some kind of substance, that there's some structure there. I do prefer 0.5 for this one. Let's check out another one here. So let's hide this, and let's go into my second light group. And so in the second light group, again, a really, really basic setup. So what are the differences here? Well, for this one, my backlight, I actually have very large. See how large that is behind the character? And so that's really filling in and kind of getting this each side of the face, but giving me that nice backlight look. And then I've got a front 3/4 light, which is giving me some nice like contrast and shadows, and a little bit of an angle. What you don't want to do is light this straight on from the front. You can do that from the back for nice backlighting, so this material absorbs color, but not from the front. From the front, it will flatten everything out. And so that's why you'll see this light here, this front 3/4 light is up and kind of looking down at an angle onto our character. And so that way we're able to get some nice contrasted shadows on the left side of the face, and on the right side of the face, we fill in some more of that detail. Now let's take a look at the final group here. So for the light group 3, let's turn that on. And again, backlighting. Remember, backlighting is crucial for this stuff, but again, I simplified this one even more. So we have one backlight, but this backlight is very wide, but not that tall, right? So we made this one pretty slender, and the power is, down low, but this all depends on how close the light is to the character, the type of material you have. So, the power, you can't just plug those in. It has to be done kind of based on look here and how you're making it. And then I have a side light, and that side light is literally just off to the side, 90 degrees rotated here, and filling in that area. Now the power is very low, but it gives us enough detail. If I turn that side light off, again, you can see this is actually kind of a cool look, just to backlight your character. So it really just depends on the style you're going for. But if I turn off that backlight, you can see that, and this would work on any of these, that it becomes dull. And now obviously I threw some funky colors in here, so it's a little bit more visible and interesting for watching along here, and not too subtle. a little more obvious. But if you turn that backlight off, see how kind of dull this ends up looking? It's a little waxy, but not super lifelike. And then the minute you throw that backlight in there, you get this great absorption and scattering through that material, and that's it. So I hope you like this quick tip here today. Remember, don't overcomplicate your lighting setups. Simplicity is the way to go for it, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Peace.